Privacy is getting to be an expensive commodity these days. Our respective governments track us to know our every move, while companies track us in an effort to understand how best to make money from us. In a previous video, we discussed what our highly surveilled society could look like in the next 30 years. But today, we'll be looking at ways to beat those surveillance tools while living a normal life in any given city. Now, before we continue, I'd like you all to know I make new videos on Thursdays and Sundays every week, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Living in a big city today without being noticed is hard, and avoiding the numerous spying tools put in place by governments and businesses is even harder. But that doesn't mean you can't substantially reduce the ability to track where you go and what you do. The rich own private islands, live in fortresses, and hire the best techies to keep their private information safe. But most of us are at the mercy of omnipotent spying programs which span across entire countries. Now, not everyone sees the importance in protecting their privacy, and some would even call those who try to criminals or just plain paranoid. But in a world where your data could be collected and weaponized against you, it's prudent to at least try to protect it in some way. The first step towards going off the grid in today's world is to delete all that already exists. This includes social media accounts, online subscriptions, and even your credit cards. All these things create an active digital trail from which any government or company with the right tools can track and profile you without your knowledge. The next step is trashing everything in your home which could actively send a signal to a cell tower or a GPS satellite. This includes smartphones, game consoles, laptops, and smart home devices like Nest and Amazon Echo. Most of these devices can be easily hacked and made to spy on you. Obviously, you would still need certain devices to lead a normal life. Instead of a smartphone, you could possibly use a disposable prepaid phone, which should be replaced at least once a month. Instead of a laptop, you could use the PC at places like a public library, or if you have the know-how and the time, you could build a secure personal computer, sourcing parts from local hardware stores. Once you do have electronics in the house, they should be stored in Faraday tents, which would effectively stop them from sending or receiving signals without your knowledge. For those interested in using Faraday cages, they can be bought in all sizes from online stores. Now you have your personal computer ready to go, you would need to install a VPN to make sure no one can track your IP address from that computer. There are a number of tools which could allow you browse anonymously, like the Tor network. Just take out the time and do some research on them. So far, we've talked about protecting your personal space, but it's an entirely different ballgame once you step outside. Everything from CCTV cameras, vehicle dashcams to high-speed cameras continuously watch and archive our movements in most big cities. It's even worse when you rely on public transportation systems such as buses, trains, to even ride-sharing services. Most of them use rechargeable cards and mobile accounts to pay for services rendered instead of physical cash. Just last month, a story broke out about a predictive policing technology which had been deployed in New Orleans for the past 6 years without the knowledge of the residents or city authorities. The program, led by the software company known as Palantir, pulls data from a variety of law enforcement agencies and social media networks, after which it draws up a list of people most likely to be involved in violent crimes. With programs like that on the horizon, we have to at least try to protect our personal information, or else we might find ourselves accused of a future crime because an AI made a wrong decision. To avoid being spied on when you leave your home, you could possibly map out the path of least surveillance to your destination. This is particularly useful when you only visit a few places like the supermarket or a laundry mart. If mapping out where all the cameras are is too much of a problem, you could use a laser pointer to obscure the image of a specific camera, or if you are handy and you've got the time, you could build a DIY infrared LED array and attach it to a hat or the head area of a hoodie. The advantage of the second option is you don't have to bother pointing a laser, as the infrared LEDs will dazzle any camera which is sensitive to near-infrared lights. Now, you should note that certain high-end security cameras are outfitted with coatings and filters which will negate the effects of infrared lights. So there's a chance you could still get caught on camera, but this solution will keep you obscured most of the time. Getting from place to place anonymously won't be easy either. But besides walking, you could use mopeds or a standard bicycle to get around. And it turns out that also could be good for you health-wise. Now we need to keep in mind that all these measures won't keep you safe if you're being hunted by the authorities. So please stay away from crime and those who are looking to commit it as well. For those who have made the decision to go forward with such a lifestyle, for whatever reason, I need you to understand it won't be easy at first. After all, we have come to depend on the very technologies that spy on us on a day-to-day. But I strongly believe somewhere down the road, you'll be happy you made the decision to go dark.